bad players sono arrivati a sostenerla. È l'orgoglio di Viareggio, è la crisalide del beach tennis italiano. Do il benvenuto a Cesenatico, alla Beach Arena, alla testa rossa della Versilia, Elena Francesconi. Ora al sorteggio. Dopo il sorteggio, ricordiamo, verrà osservato un minuto di silenzio per il dramma che ha colpito l'Emilia Romagna. 1 minute of silence after the coin toss. Thank you. Verrà ora osservato un minuto di silenzio per il dramma che ha colpito l'Emilia Romagna. Now, 1 minute of silence. Thank you. Grazie.
Ok, Cesenatico, ci siamo, inizia il warm-up del titolo mondiale.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching from around the world. I'm Alex Corda, the voice of beach tennis, and I want to welcome you to Championship Sunday here, Cesenatico, Italy. The World Championships of Beach Tennis are just about to get underway. We have two finals that we will be presenting today, the men's and women's championship match, and we are just a few minutes from getting underway here with the women's championship. Players are warming up right now, and we will get underway here momentarily. It's going to be a good one. Sit back, relax, get ready for some amazing beach tennis action. I'll join you back here in just a couple minutes as we are about to get started. Unseeded team of Ariadna Cosa-Grail and Elena Francesconi. The Dragon Slayers, the Youngins, they're going to be taking on Patricia Diaz and Rafaela Miller, number 3 seeds, for the title. 3 minutes away from start. It's going to be a good one. See you in a minute.
Cesenatico, benvenuti alla finale mondiale femminile. Gli atlete sono in campo, stanno riscaldando le loro braccia, il loro corpo. Tra pochi minuti qui sul centrale sarà bagarre allo stato puro. Abbiamo fatto la prova audio, la prova video, l'unica prova che ci manca è quella del pubblico. Fatemi sentire un bel applauso, grazie. Siete meravigliosi.
Prepararsi a giocare in the warm up.
Erano 64 miss, sono rimaste 4 principesse, ma solo 2 diventeranno le regine mondiali. Il palio, il titolo più ambito. Vi presentiamo le protagoniste in gara. Partiamo dal lato sud, from Brasile. Signori, ho l'onore di presentarvi Notorious Rafaela Miller.
Rafaela Miller, age 30, currently number 5 in the world. Her partner, the high-flying Patricia Diaz, one of the most exciting women's players out there, currently ranked number 6 in the world. First member of the teenage Dragon Slayer team, Ariadna Costa Grael, number 42 in the world, age 19. Elena Francesconi from Italy, the crowd favorite here, number 55 in the world. She's only 16 years old, folks. That is right. History could be made here on center court. The Dragon Slayers versus the veterans. That's right. Unseeded, Ariadna Costa from Spain, Elena Francesconi have made it all the way to the finals, knocking out some of the favorites of this tournament. Let's see what they can do against the veteran team of Patricia Diaz, Rafa Miller. We are underway here live from Cesenatico, Italy. Women's championship match is now underway with the first point going to Rafa and Patty Diaz, 15-love. As Rafa Miller serves up, Francesconi on the backhand side on the windmill. Diaz able to get back to it, now pushing Rafa back to the baseline. She's able to get to it, though. And there's Greil on a beautiful overhead smash, her first touch, as she puts it home, 15-all. So watch the strategy here, folks. The youngins, I call them the youngins. It's the term of endearment. They are just a 16-year-old, 19-year-old unseeded team, unheard of to make it to the finals of a world championship, and yet here they are. And yesterday they had a lot of success lobbing the back corner against their opponents, and they're trying, it looks like they might be trying the same strategy here against Rafa Miller. They seem to kind of identify, the slower player, and that's not to say Rafa is slow. I mean, Rafa is like one of the best players in the world here. But they like that back corner on the lob, and let's see if they try to keep going to that as a strategy. But just like that, a break opportunity here for the youngins. Could they get off to a huge start here with an early break? There's Greil going in for the kill, and that's it. She puts it away. Greil and Francesconi, the Dragon Slayers. You'll hear me call them the Dragon Slayers, the youngins, but they are good. The 16-year-old, 19-year-old combo here, unseeded, have made it all the way to the finals. They've knocked out the likes of Giulia Gaspari and Nini Valentini, the world #1 team. Let's talk about their rise to success here in the tournament so far. In the first round, they take out Flaminia Dyna and Eva Fernandez-Palos, the #5 team. That's crazy. Then they move into the second round, taking out an all-Italian team of Lucia Bazzocchi and Elisa Capelli. Then they move into the quarterfinals where they knocked out Giulia Gaspari and Nini Valentini. That was insane, but if you thought it was going to stop there, that Cinderella story, they get into the semifinals and they take out Julie Nagora and Marcela Vita in a 3-set thriller, 3-6, 6-2, 10-6. Now they find themselves here in the finals against Patty Diaz and Rafa Miller. This is Francesconi down the middle, and that's a nice pop down by Rafa Miller. Interesting to see how these teams are going to settle in here. This is the first set. Nerves are high on both sides, I'm quite sure. Playing for the title. Rafa getting pushed back, able to keep it back in with the windmill. There's a dig out there by Francesconi. Greil, quick hands, able to keep it back in. Down in the sand goes Francesconi, and that ball is going to sail wide. So they were broken in the first game, but opportunity to break back here. Love 40. Diaz and Miller trying to tie this matchup in one game apiece. As the service air into the net, and so that brings us to a 1-1 tie here. We are early. Women's Championship Match 2023. ITF World Beach Tennis Championships live from Cesenatico, Italy. A moment of silence was held just a little while ago after the coin toss in honor of those who have lost their lives in the devastating flooding happening up in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, not far from here. A lot of the players of the tournament were affected and their families, and as you can see, the crowds not typical of what you would see at a world championship. Usually this place would be packed with standing room only, but a lot of logistical issues and just other things going on. have affected that. But the good news is we are here. We're playing beach tennis. The sun is out for the first time in a long time. And we've got a great women's final here happening in the sand. Can the Cinderella story of Greil and Francesconi continue? They would be the youngest world champions of all time. Unseeded team able to come and make it all the way to the top. But they've got their hands full here. Patricia Diaz, Rafa Miller, the Venezuelan-Brazilian duo. This is a very experienced team. Already have 3 wins in 2023, including the Sand Series Gran Canaria Classic last weekend in the Canary Islands. So Patty and Rafa trying to make it 2 for 2 here, 2 weeks in a row. Easy put down there for Francesconi, 30-15. Diaz serve up and in. Beautiful looping serve. Greil is there. Greil now taking it up high. Rafa able to answer. Rafa now going angle over to Francesconi. Francesconi pops it high, but that one's going to sail long. 40-15 now. Game opportunity, game point for Diaz and Miller, trying to take a 2-1 lead as the players will change sides after this point. First few games of the first set, especially in the championship match, players are going to kind of work off some of those nerves, get a feel for their opponents, get a feel for the conditions. Wind, not really a factor here. The sun is out. It's actually very nice right now. Much different than the weather we faced all week. Tournament was actually delayed an extra day because of the weather delays. And there we go, Patty Diaz. Rafa Miller holds serve, and they take a 2-1 lead here. You are watching live women's championship action with Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis, bringing you here. We will cover today the women's championship, and then immediately following, we'll have the men's championship coming up after this. That's going to be a good one as well, with Michele Capoletti and Antony Ramos Vieira taking on Maddie Spoto and Nicola Gianotti. Rematch of last year.
Benvenuti a Cesenatico, state assistendo alla finale mondiale femminile.
Best 2 out of 3 set match here. If we go to a third set, it will be a 10-point super tiebreaker. The race to 10, we'll talk you through that one if we get there. So this is the Spaniard, Ariadna Costa Greil, serving it up at 1-2. Serve is up on the backhand side, return there by Diaz. Rafa Miller, a little chop block back to Greil. And that's a nice put away by Miller. Greil realizes she popped that one up a little too high. Thought she was going to go for the high lob, just didn't quite connect with it, and it was an easy put down for Rafa Miller. As the serve is up, back in return there by Diaz. Rafa down the center. Now Greil taking it up high. Diaz is there to answer. Francesconi now trying to go over Rafa's head, and Rafa makes her pay for it. So they might have to reevaluate that strategy, as it was a nice shot by Francesconi, but even better shot by Rafa Miller, the Brazilian veteran, on the windmill, inside out, put away, just kisses the line. So love 30. And for this young team, remember, only 19 years old here is Greil and her partner, 16-year-old Francesconi. They can't get down on themselves, even if they fall into an early hole. Got to stay strong, keep their wits about them, just play for fun. This is a lot of pressure, but at the same time, you know, they're the underdogs, so they just have to go out and charge forward. We have a nice point here as Francesconi tries to go in for the kill on the windmill. Point back to Diaz and Miller, and it's a now triple break opportunity. As the serve is up, dug out there by Diaz on the return. Rafa Miller over to Francesconi. Francesconi on the angle, diving save there by Miller. Diaz able to keep the ball back in play. Miller back up on her feet from the center, over the head of Diaz, and it's good. Diaz looked at her partner, thought Rafa Miller was going to come over and cover, but she wasn't able to get to it. And this is a nice heads up. Well, here's the lob over to Miller. Miller able to get it back in, but then a beautiful response by Francesconi to go over the head. Lob of Patty Diaz there just inside the baseline. So they get a point here at 15:40. Still break opportunity for Diaz and Miller. Francesconi going to that corner again, but it's not going to connect. A little down on herself here. So, very important to watch this young team. They are, again, Francesconi, 16 years old. Grael is 19, and how they respond to early adversity in this high-pressure match is going to be key. They've looked very poised so far. Remember, yesterday in the semifinal, they dropped the first set 3-6, came back, won the set 6-2 in the second, and then, of course, charged forward in that 10-6 super tiebreak victory. So they've been in a hole before, and then they've responded. Let's see what they do here. They're in an early hole, but it's small. But Grael takes one to the face right there on the nice overhead by Patty Diaz. Boom. Welcome to the championships, rookie. Patty Diaz, she's sweet. She's one of the great personalities on the tour. But don't put it high on her. She will put the ball away. That one just wide. 15-all. We've talked about Patty Diaz. She's been around the tour for quite a while, 31 years old, from Venezuela. But she has really dedicated herself over the last 2 years of just getting back into better shape. She wasn't in that bad of shape to begin with, but she really has trained. She's gotten faster, stronger, and we're seeing her more and more now in these big matches. She's making it to a lot of semifinals and finals, and she's just really kind of reinvented herself at age 31. Back on top, currently ranked number 6 in the world. At 30-15, Rafa serves it up on the backhand return there by Francesconi. Diaz a shot into the net. We are tied up at 30-all. At 30-all, Rafa serves it up, dug out there by Grael. Grael taking it up high down the center. Diaz is there to answer.
La difesa della Francesconi, 40-30.
Francesconi's shot just short, and so it's now go 40-30. Diaz and Miller trying to extend that first set lead to 3 games. They've got a bit of a cushion right here, just a small one at 2 games, but opportunity here to continue to extend, and let's see what happens on the backhand side. Dish back by Grael, taking it to the center is Francesconi. Francesconi, a little shallow dropper there over to Rafa Miller. The teams are just kind of challenging each other in the middle now. Going off angle is Miller. Diaz now trying to windmill, but saved back by Grael. Grael, she was in position, but couldn't connect, and so the youngins a little wobbly here in this first set, trying to get their footing. This is a new experience for both of them. Very young team. They've come back. This is a Cinderella story. I think, you know, everybody watching this tournament around the world and here in Italy watching live, they know the significance of what this would mean. And, you know, hopefully that pressure doesn't get to the young team. But like I said, we've seen them down in a hole before. They were just yesterday down in that first set hole. They dropped the first set and came back strong in the second. Anything can happen in beach tennis. But right now, the momentum with Patty Diaz and Rafaela Miller. Leading 4-1 here. You're watching live Women's Championship action. The final of the ITF Beach Tennis World Championships 2023 from Cesenatico, Italy.
Time, si torna in campo, accogliamo le atlete con un applauso. Grazie Cesenatico. prende dal punteggio di 1-4 al servizio Elena Francesconi.
So this is Francesconi serving it up at 1-4. As the serve is up and in, return on the forehand side there by Rafa. Rafa back to Francesconi. Little touch dropper there by Diaz. Diaz now going back to Francesconi on the other side. Challenging her with the lob, and Francesconi couldn't get to it. Knew she got beat. And now serving up at love 15. And that one sails long. Love 30. At love 30, serve is up on the right side. Return there by Rafa Miller. Now pushing Francesconi to the backcourt. Francesconi's able to get there. Grail now saving the ball back in off the middle. There's Diaz now taking it to the backhand dish by Grail. Grail saving it up from the middle. Lob by Diaz. Miller lets that one go as they try to push Miller back to the baseline, but that is long. And Grail and Francesconi, they just don't quite have the touch right now. They saw there was excellent placement yesterday on their shots. They just felt like they were completely dialed in, laser focused, and right now they're just a bit out of sorts. They don't have quite the touch. You can kind of see it in their body language. I mean, this is intimidating. They're playing for a world championship. This isn't a BT10, folks. This is the most prestigious tournament on the planet in the world of beach tennis, and here they are. An unseeded team made it to the final. Unheard of. But right now it's the veterans in control. 4-1, Diaz and Miller. It's now 15-40. As the serve is up, Rafa on the forehand side dish, and that one's going to trickle over. So everything going the way of Diaz and Miller right now. Or that one just falls short. So 5-1 in the first set. Diaz and Miller in full control. Will it be 2 wins in a row on 2 successive weekends? Remember, these ladies in Gran Canary Islands in Spain took the Sand Series Gran Canaria Classic just last weekend. Serve up on the backhand, on the forehand side, return there by Grail. Grail taking it up high. There's Rafa for the kill. Easy kill for Rafa Miller. 3 points away from claiming the first set. As Diaz serves it up, and that's a beautiful serve by Patty Diaz. Big spinner down the middle. Grail got a paddle on it, but couldn't quite handle the return. 30 love, 2 points away from claiming the first set. As Diaz serves up down the middle once again. There's Francesconi on the dish trying to take it up high, but that one just a few inches long. 1 point away from the first set. Diaz and Miller, the number 3 seeds, are rolling here to start this women's championship. Yeah. Rafa taking it up high. Rafa back down the middle. And the Youngins able to get a point there as they sneak one inside down the middle. Both Diaz and Miller backed off of that. Each one thought the other one was going to commit to it. Still 40-15, though. Some points to give here for Diaz and Miller as they are trying to close out this first set. Serve up, and the backhand return by Francesconi. Moving over is Miller. Miller going in for the kill, but saved back by Francesconi. But Diaz is there to close it out. Patty Diaz, Rafa Miller take the first set 6-1 here in this women's championship. The 2023 ITF World Championships of Beach Tennis. And you are watching the women's final. Patty Diaz, Rafa Miller looking so strong here to begin this one. And this is the moment. All right, we saw Greil and Francesconi in the situation yesterday. They dropped the first set. Then they had a little conversation in the changeover, much like they're doing right now. They came out strong and stormed to a 6-2 victory in the second set, ultimately winning in a third set super tiebreak. So will we see some of that magic again? Will the Cinderella story have a happy ending? We're not sure, but let's see. It's going to be a great set. Second set coming up here momentarily.
Andate pure a tempo, siete magnifici.
Tempo.
Si torna in campo, secondo set, secondo capitolo di questa finale mondiale.
All right, back in action here on center court with the first point of the second set. Ariadna Costa Greil from Spain, the 19-year-old, serves it up in 15 love. So this is the key moment here. How are these young ladies going to respond? Down a set, and they lost in a pretty convincing way, 6-1 to Diaz and Miller. So how do they respond? That's what we're going to be watching for, just like they did in the semifinal yesterday. Remember, down a set, 3-6, then they came back 6-2 and won ultimately 10-6 in a super tiebreak. They're going to try to repeat that history here and try to close out this incredible Cinderella run. They've slayed a few dragons on the way. They've got one more here against a tough Miller and Diaz team. So Francesconi and Greil, I think they're the feel-good story of this women's tournament, but we can't, we can't forget about the incredible performances by Diaz and Miller. Just they're playing so red hot right now, playing in a way that I don't know if any team out there in this could take them. The number one seeds, the number two seeds, I don't think it matters. Rafa and Diaz are so hot right now. Again, coming off that victory last week in Gran Canaria. They've won 3 tournaments already in 2022, or in 2023 rather. And they've got a break opportunity here to go up 1-love in the first set. This is Diaz on the put away, and she does it. Diaz, textbook put down. They get the early break, and they go up 1-love. Second set.
Ringraziamo gli sponsor SXY, Regione Emilia Romagna, Comune Cesenati, Confederazione Italiana Tennis e Paddle, International Tennis Federation. Ringraziamo l'Intelligent Sound, ringraziamo la Gold Club Photo. Diaz.
All right, Patty Diaz serving it up, leading one game to love here in the second set. They're already leading 1-0. There's Greil taking it up high, pushing Rafa to the backcourt. Rafa able to just conservatively keep it back in play, though, as Diaz goes over the head of Greil. Greil's there to answer. Francesconi. She got one back, was a little slow to get back into position, and Diaz, watch this. Nice chop there by Francesconi, but Diaz was there to answer. Perfect position by Patty Diaz. So they lead 15-love here in the second game, second set. They are in full control of this championship match right now at the moment. Backhand side return by Francesconi, and that's a nice return by Francesconi going down the line, forced Diaz to get there, and the timing was just a little bit off. So point to Francesconi and Greil takes us to 15-all. Serve up. Beautiful serve there. Patty Diaz bringing the heat. 30-15. It has been all Diaz and Miller so far. Serve up down the middle. Francesconi down in the sand, able to keep a paddle on it, though. The point is going. Francesconi on the windmill put away. Rafa now locking in, trying to take the ball back up high over to Francesconi into the sun. And Francesconi with a big put down, the 16-year-old Italian. Showing that she's got the shots in there. They might be a little off right now, but she puts that one home well, and it is now 30-all. Serve is up, back in return by Greil. Greil, defensive play, able to keep the ball back in. Nice hands by Greil, but that one's going to sail just long. So 40-30 game point here. Chance for Diaz and Miller to go hold serve and go up 2 games to love. Already leading a set here in this women's championship. Diaz serves it up, returned back in by Greil. There's an overhead windmill by Francesconi, and Diaz, again, she's just in the perfect place at the perfect time. She has great anticipation. That's just veteran play right there for you. She saw the shot a little bit short, had an opportunity to pounce, and she puts it down with a nice punch. Diaz and Miller lead 2 games to love here in the second set.
Signori, clamoroso, c'è un cambio di palline, fatemi sentire un applauso. Un applauso per le palline nuove. Francesconi.
Here we go, Francesconi serving it up at love 2. Service up. Rafa on the forehand side return. Back to Greil. Greil taking it up high, but Rafa is there to answer. Rafa putting a lot of pressure on Greil, and Greil pops it into the net. Love 15.
Costa Greila, 0-15.
Francesconi serves it up. Down the middle return. There's Rafa for the kill. Dug out there by Francesconi on a nice defensive play. Diaz is there. Keeping it back in place. Francesconi down in the sand goes Rafa. And Greil puts it home. What a point for the Spaniard. Popping it home after some great defensive play by the young'uns. And there she is, locking in on it. Rafa was in the sand already. Knew she was beat. Nice point. 15-all. It's going to be points like that that need to get these young ladies fired up back in this match. Remember, they're down a set, and they're running out of time. And that's a beautiful lob by Patty Diaz. Taking it up high. Francesconi, she dove for it, but just couldn't quite connect. Perfect placement there by Patty Diaz. Serve up. Rafa on the center return. There's Diaz now going on the angle. Answered back by Greil. Now taking it up high. Rafa able to answer. Players changing sides. Rafa's overhead sails long.
sbagliato, 30 pari.
So it's 30 all here in this third game, second set. Greil and Francesconi trying to get on the board for the first time here in the set, trying to hold serve, and really kind of a extremely important service hold for them. They don't want to go down into a three-game hole already down a set. And Rafa Miller keeps putting on the pressure. 30-40 break opportunity here for Diaz and Miller, trying to take that 3 games to love lead in the second set. As the serve is up, forearm return there by Miller. Miller now going up high, challenging Francesconi, and that's a wise play. Diaz and Miller with the break. They go up 3 games to love. They are 3 games away from being crowned the 2023 World Champions.
Ora tu sei pagato per un commento tecnico. A parte un esorcista, che cosa ci vorrebbe in campo qua?
Stanno disputando una partita al limite della perfezione, si contano con le dita di una mano gli errori gratuiti commessi. Serve ovviamente prendere qualche rischio in più, cercare di mettere pressione all'avversario, al duo italo-iberico, per cercare di ribaltare l'inerzia di un match che si è messo decisamente bene per il duo sudamericano.
Prendiamo appunti.
Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis, welcoming all of you who are tuning in around the world, watching women's championship match here from Italy. The women's final. Diaz and Miller, the number 3 seeded team, are in full control here, leading 1 set to love and 3 games to love here in the second set. And for this young team of Greil and Francesconi, the 19-year-old and 16-year-old, the unseeded team, the Dragon Slayers, the Cinderella story, getting them all the way to the final. Well, it is a tough go for them right now. They have not been able to find a foothold against this super sharp team of Miller and Diaz, who are red hot right now in the world of beach tennis. They're coming off a win last weekend, looking for 2 in a row here. And that one's going to sail long, so it's 15 love for Diaz and Miller. Backhand side going up high, pushing Diaz back, and that one also sails long, and they just are not connecting with their lobs the way that they were yesterday in that incredible semifinal. They had great placement, and it was almost like they had laser sights on their paddles. They were just wherever they were pointing, it was going, but not the case here today. They've looked a bit flat from the beginning, almost like they're just kind of running out of steam after this incredible run that they've had in this tournament. And Diaz and Miller, you know, for their part, I have to say, they have looked absolutely near flawless in this final today. Very prepared, veteran team. They know what it's like to be here, not intimidated, and they want this world championship. They've just been kind of doing everything right here so far. That's a beautiful put away by Rafa Miller. So they go up 4 games to love, and they are 2 games away from being crowned the 2023 champions. Reminder, we've got the next final, the last final. Well, there's only 2 finals, folks. The next final on the men's side, final match of the day, is coming up immediately after this one. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira will be taking on Gianotti and Spoto in a rematch of last year's World Championship. As the serve is up, the forehand side return there by Rafa Miller. Now taking it up is Francesconi to the corner. And Francesconi able to sneak one in there. She's like, yep, I finally got one in. She hasn't really been connecting on those lobs as well. But, you know, these young team, they've got to fire themselves up. They can't hang their heads. They can't kind of slouch around, you know, with the body language. Yes, they're down. They're getting beat pretty hard. But you know what? If they have any chance, any hope, they've got to use what makes them different with that youthful spunk, that energy, that just kind of crazy underdog. I don't care. I'm going to just charge forward at all costs. That's what they need here. And, you know, they're not showing it at the moment. They're outmatched in skill and experience. But you know what? They've got that just special something. It's what got them here. And they've got to try to tap into that and find that magic that got them to this championship match. But, you know, they're losing points. They're kind of down. They don't know what they're doing. You know, they don't know where the answers are. And I know that's a very intimidating place to be. I've been there as a player myself. And, you know, sometimes when just nothing's working, you're just like, I don't know what to do. And you get intimidated. But the best teams, that's when they just find something extra. They dig a little deeper. And they just go for it. This team has nothing to prove. They've already proven it. They've already written an amazing story here at the World Championships. And there we go. That one stays in there, and they just need little spark like that. Sometimes it's just points. One cool point like that, and you know, that goes your way, and that's all it takes sometimes. There's Francesconi. She was down on herself for not hitting her lobs. Well, she got one in there. Takes us to 30 all. Greil, backhand side return there by Diaz. There's Rafa Miller on the angle. Francesconi taken up to her favorite corner. Rafa's able to get it there, though, and there you go. She pushed Rafa back. Couple lobs, and then Rafa comes in and mishandles one of the exchanges there into the net. So, you know, hey, now they have a game point. Trying to get on the board for the first time here in the second set. This would be a nice service hold for them. As the serve is up, Diaz is there. Francesconi getting in on the action. There's Diaz on a beautiful angle. Down in the sand goes Greil. Greil back up on her feet, though, able to save it with the defensive lob. Rafa Miller there. Oh, yes, Rafa Miller on a nice put away. Beautiful forehand volley there by Rafa Miller. Takes us to 40 all. Golden point. Next point wins the game, whether is it going to be a break or is it going to be a service hold? The difference between 5-love or 1-4. Greil serves up. Dug out by Diaz. Diaz now on the backhand side dish down the middle. Francesconi going back on the lob. Now challenging Rafa Miller. And they're going to get one. So the young'uns get on the board for the first time in the second set with a very important service hold. So Diaz and Miller in control, leading 4-1, second set. But Francesconi and Greil are on the board.
Ringraziamo SXY, Regione Emilia-Romagna, Comune di Cesenatico, Federazione Italiana Tennis e Padel, International Tennis Federation. Ringraziamo la Gold Club Photo, l'Intelligent Sound. Ringraziamo anche tutti il pubblico presente, ringraziamo pure mia zia che ci sta vedendo in televisione. Si torna in campo, accogliamo le atlete con un applauso, grazie. Si riprende dal punteggio di 4-1. A servizio Miss Diaz.
So here we go, back underway here. Center court action. Patricia Diaz serving up at 4-1. The Venezuelan. They're 2 games away from being crowned the 2023 champions. Facing the unranked or the unseeded team of Francesconi and Greil, who have shocked the beach tennis world with this run that they've made here in the World Championships. The biggest, the most prestigious event of the entire year, and they took down the number 1 seeds in the quarterfinals. They took down the number 6 seeds in the semis, and they find themselves here fighting for a world championship at ages 19 and 16. But they also face the hottest team in women's beach tennis right now, Patty Diaz and Rafa Miller. On the serve by Miller. Miller now on the back inside dish there by Francesconi. Greil getting pushed back, but able to keep the ball back in play on the back inside dish by Miller. Back to Diaz. Miller now down the middle. Greil there to answer on the forehand side. Greil taking it up to the middle. Rafa's there. Oh, beautiful angle there by Diaz. Saved back in there by Greil. Greil on the windmill put away down the center. We're still playing here. Francesconi clips off of her paddle, and a beautiful point by all players there. Goes the way of Diaz and Miller. Giannotti, Spoto, Capoletti, Ramos, Vieira, the men's championship coming up following this match. Greil into the net. 40-15. Game point here for Diaz and Miller. With this service hold, they would be 1 game away from taking the world title. Serve up, beautiful serve down the middle. Been very impressed with Diaz's serve on this match. Greil able to dig it out. Francesconi getting pushed back for the windmill, but she's able to keep it back in play. Rafa locking in, but that's going to sail long, and that is game for Diaz and Miller. They lead 5-1. They are 1 game away from being crowned the world champions.
Servizio da Francesconi, serve per rimanere nel match.
So for this young team, it is go time. Backs against the wall, 1-5. They have no more room left. The 16-year-old Ariadna Costa Greil and Elena Francesconi, the 16-year-old Italian, serving right now. It's been a run, but they have no more room, but yet to go, nowhere to go yet, except forward. So they are facing an onslaught by Rafa and Patty, and that's just a testament to how this team is playing right now. This hot, red hot Patty Diaz, Rafaela Miller team, Venezuela, Brazilian combo. 2 points away, ladies and gentlemen. Francesconi serves it up. Forehand return there by Diaz. Diaz making a big statement there. Patricia Diaz getting up high and putting it down with authority. That's how she does it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is set point. It is match point. It is championship point. The world title on the line as Francesconi serves it up. Over to Rafa on the forehand side return. Diaz is there down the middle. Taking it up high is Greil. Dug out by Francesconi. There's Rafa Miller. Tried to end it on a shallow angle play, but falls just a bit short. 15-40. Still championship point for Diaz and Miller. Racket collision there. Francesconi takes it up high. Saved back by Greil. Francesconi down the middle. Answered back by Diaz. Rafa now going to go up high on the lob. Can Francesconi put it down? And she does. Francesconi on a pressure overhead, able to keep the ball back in play. And that's 2 in a row for the youngins. 30-40, though. Still championship point for Diaz and Miller. Francesconi served it over to Rafa. Rafa down the middle, taking it up high. Could this be it? Yes! And Rafa Miller ends it. It's all over. 6-1. 6-1. Rafaela Miller, Patricia Diaz, the number 3 seeded team, have won the World Championship. They are your 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Champions, and that makes 2 in a row. 2 weekends in a row they are victorious. But this one is so sweet. The World Championship. It doesn't get any bigger than this. And they deserve it. It was a rock-solid performance here in this championship match. 6-1, 6-1. They were in control from the start. And that is just well-deserved. They've been straight-set victories for them throughout the entire tournament. And you got to be happy for Rafa Miller and Patty Diaz. 2 absolutely great champions and great ambassadors of the sport of beach tennis. And they take the year's top title in big fashion. And you know what? For their opponents, you've got to hand it to them. Ariadna Costa-Grael, Elena Francesconi. It didn't go their way here in the final, but what a run. You're looking at the future of beach tennis here, folks. The future stars. Francesconi is only 16 years old. Grael is only 19. They will be here many, many more times, and I expect to see podium finishes for them. Top of the podium finishes. So keep your eye on those young players, the Spaniard and the Italian. But for right now, it's the moment for Patty Diaz and Rafa Miller. They are your 2023 ITF World Champions of Beach Tennis. We're going to go down into the sand for some post-match interviews. We'll do a trophy presentation for the ladies. And then just about 4 o'clock or just thereafter, local time here in Italy, we will see the men. Michele Capoletti, Antimi, Ramos Vieira, the number 1 seeds. They're going to be taking on the number 3 seeds, Nicola Gianotti and Mattia Matispoto, in a rematch of last year's championship. Again, that will happen just after 4 p.m. local time here in Italy. For those of you tuning in around the world, just to check, it's currently 3:18 p.m. here, Italy time. So that match will be getting underway in just about an hour or so. But let's go down into the sand for some post-match interviews with your world champions.
Hey guys, first of all, let's make a history with ITF and Patty Diaz, Rafa Miller, make it history in Cesenatico, the first time in your career, and for Venezuela too.
Yes, for sure. I'm out of words. I'm really super happy. I cannot stop crying. I dream about this since the beginning of my career, really. It's the most important tournament. I always had a lot of pressure in this tournament because I wanted so bad. This year, I knew we were ready, but really I was very impressed and proud because I had a different feeling this year. I was more calm. I think things were, if they had to work, they would work alone. You know, it was going to be a consequence of all the work that we have done. Rafa was amazing today. This was not my best match because I had a lot of tension sometimes, and she was there supporting me. Really, we were amazing, and I'm super happy.
That's it.
So as they're doing the Portuguese interview down in the sand right now with your world champions, just want to remind you we've got the men's championship match coming up here within the hour. That'll get underway just after 4 o'clock p.m. local time here in Italy. It is currently 3:21 p.m. local time, so I want to say about 40 to 45 minutes away. And that is going to be a great one. The rematch of last year's World Championship. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira taking on Gianotti and Spoto. Will this be the year that Gianotti and Spoto can take the top position? Will they be crowned world champions? They're going to have to get by the mighty, tough, world #1 ranked team of Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira. But you're not going to want to miss that one, so make sure you're here checking it out. Again, that match will get underway just after 4 p.m. local time here in Italy. Congratulations once again to Patty Diaz and Rafaela Miller, your 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Champions. A 6-1 victory here on center court. They took control from the start, and they never let up. A well-deserved victory, and you got to be happy for the 31-year-old Patty Diaz from Venezuela, the 30-year-old Rafa Miller from Brazil. They've wanted this tournament for so many years, could never quite get there, and this is their year. Congratulations again, champs. You earned it. Patty Diaz, Rafa Miller. I'm Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis. Reminding you once again, we got men's championship match coming up within the hour, just after 4 p.m. local time here in Italy. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira versus Gianotti and Spoto. So come on back, make sure you're here for that, and I'll see you then.
Welcome to the ITF Tennis Championship Trophy Presentation for Women's Double. Benvenuti alla premiazione del doppio femminile dei campionati mondiali 2023. To present the trophies and medals, please welcome Simona Bonadonna, representative of FITP, and Alexei Selivanenko, ITF representative and chairman of the ITF Beach Tennis Committee. And now, in the third place, terzo posto, terze classificate, please welcome Greta Giusti and Veronica Casadei. Complimenti a Veronica Casadei e Greta Giusti, terze classificate al campionato del mondo 2023. Le quarte sono Giulia Nogueira e Marcela Vita. Now, the runners up. Silver medal, medaglia d'argento. Arianna Costa Grael and Elena Francesconi. Ricevono il premio da Alexei Selivanenko e Simona Bonadonna. They receive the trophy from Alexei Selivanenko and Simona Bonadonna. And now it's time to elect the winners of a gold medal. È il momento di eleggere le regine iridate 2023. Si laureano campionesse del mondo, gold medal and ITF Women's World Championship for 2023, Patti Diaz e Raffaela Miller. It's time to say something. I give the microphone to Simona. Do il microfono a Simona per sancire la fine di questo doppio femminile.
Con enorme piacere che porto i saluti della Federazione Italiana Tennis e Padel, un evento qui riportato a Cesenatico dopo tanto tempo nella terra del beach tennis.
I am very glad to announce the cheers from FITP, our federation. The beach tennis come to Emilia Romagna from some time, and for me and for us is a great pleasure.
Volevo ringraziare tutte le persone che hanno permesso la realizzazione di questo evento, dal Comune di Cesenatico alla Regione Emilia-Romagna, all'ITF, alla Federazione Italiana Tennis e Padel, tutti gli sponsor, il main sponsor, ma soprattutto in questo momento tutte le famiglie che hanno permesso ai loro ragazzi di essere presenti, di essere qui, e un in bocca al lupo grandissimo alla nostra regione che sta subendo un momento veramente difficile.
I have to make a lot of thanks to all the people that came there, all the people that work around this championship, and a great thank for the families in this moment very strong for Emilia Romagna. I think it's time to react, and I'm very happy for this ceremony. Now I give the word to Mr. Sullivan.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. I would like to welcome here at this wonderful ceremony. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of the players, winners, runner-up, everyone who participated here.
Sono molto felice di essere qui, voglio ringraziarvi tutti per aver partecipato e soprattutto per prima cosa voglio complimentarmi con tutte le atlete per le grandi partite offerte e con le vincitrici del trofeo.
So we all know it was a very difficult week, but what have started as, no one could understand whether the tournament, how it's going in those tough conditions, but we see that here the final, sunshine, people, and I would like in those circumstances first of all to say many thanks to everyone who participated in organization of this tournament, to Simona, all of the federation, Paul, the organizing team, all of the staff. It was, I think one of the most challenging events we had ever. But I think the more difficult is on the way. The more beautiful is the outcome. So many thanks to everyone who made this tournament possible.
Voglio ringraziare sentitamente Paolo Caponigri, Simona Bonadonna e tutti coloro i quali hanno fatto sì che questo torneo riuscisse, arrivasse a termine. Ovviamente le condizioni climatiche non possiamo prevederle, abbiamo affrontato probabilmente un evento nelle condizioni più complesse possibili, abbiamo fatto il massimo per farlo arrivare al termine e questo sole che oggi accompagna le finali spero di cuore che sia di buon auspicio per reagire e ripartire.
Certainly all of the tournament partners, sponsors, who are with us throughout this journey, and especially the fans, who are coming here, players are playing, people who are coming, and what we see here in this extended day really shows that we are coming back to the place from where beach tennis came from. So, and we see how many people are coming in this tough week. So thank you everyone for here.
Ringrazio sicuramente i giocatori, ma soprattutto gli sponsor che ci hanno sostenuto e in particolare tutto il pubblico che è venuto a riempire la beach arena di Cesenatico. Siamo tornati a giocare i mondiali di beach tennis dove il beach tennis è nato ed è un orgoglio vedere le tribune così piene, anche nel giorno ulteriore di torneo a causa delle condizioni climatiche. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ora chiederei 2 dichiarazioni alle giocatrici, se siete d'accordo. Partiamo dalle terze classificate, the third place, some words. Potete venire solo un po' più vicino perché 2 parole per questa medaglia conquistata, Veronica e Greta.
Allora, siamo molto felici, è stato un bel torneo, penso che abbiamo giocato bene. Non era facile, però no, siamo molto contenti del risultato. Io voglio ringraziare i miei genitori che sono venuti, amici e il mio allenatore, Benny.
Io voglio ringraziare il mio allenatore, Matteo Marighella, per avermi seguito in questo torneo, la mia famiglia che mi ha sostenuto e soprattutto la mia che mi ha tenuto su in questo torneo un po' difficile per me, però sono molto contenta del risultato e niente, grazie.
Complimenti a Veronica e Greta. Ora la parola alle seconde classificate. Avete sorpreso tutti con questo straordinario percorso, è arrivata un'ottima medaglia d'argento, futuro sicuramente della vostra.
We are very happy because we didn't hope to get those results. It's difficult to lose a final, but I think that we're dreaming and we hope that we will get another final in our year.
Anch'io sono molto felice per questo percorso di questo torneo, un po' tristi per la finale perché potevamo fare di più, però sì, siamo felici, anche voglio ringraziare la mia famiglia, il mio allenatore Alberto e dare un bacio da lontano a Damiano, il mio amico.
Ovviamente ci aggreghiamo all'abbraccio, credo, a Damiano Rosicchini, un applauso lo merita sicuramente, lo aspettiamo presto qua, un grande del beach tennis. Traduco cosa ha detto Ariadna, sicuramente sottolineato la grande emozione da raggiungere questa finale, spiace per come si è conclusa, ma sicuramente l'augurio è che possa essercene un'altra. Thank you very much. E ora la parola alle vincitrici. Complimenti ragazze, vi lascio il microfono e congratulazioni per questo straordinario torneo.
Io trovo parlare italiano. Non parlo bene ma ci provo. Niente, sono molto contenta, molto felice. È una partita, anche un torneo molto difficile. Complimenti alle ragazze che hanno fatto un bellissimo torneo. Niente, questa è la prima volta di Patti del campionato del mondo, quindi io volevo tanto vincere questa partita. E niente, grazie al mio sponsor Sandever che c'è qua, grazie a Paolo che veramente sta facendo tanta differenza alla nostra coppia. E nada, molto contenta, grazie Italia.
Sta parlando benissimo comunque Rafa, vero? Incredibile. No, come ha detto Rafa, è la mia prima volta, lo volevo tanto e sono molto orgogliosa di tutto quel lavoro che abbiamo fatto in questo torneo, ma non solo in questo torneo. Stiamo facendo un lavoro tutti i giorni da tanto tempo. Voglio ringraziare la mia parcella, la mia socia per la sua fiducia, perché ci crede in noi, perché è sempre nel mio fianco. Sono veramente contenta, felice. Anche i miei genitori devo ringraziare perché dall'inizio hanno creduto che potevo arrivare. Paolo, il lavoro che stai facendo è proprio incredibile e stiamo appena iniziando, penso che abbiamo tanto da fare ancora. Complimenti tutte, soprattutto voi che avete fatto un torneo incredibile, non abbiamo nessun dubbio del vostro futuro nel beach tennis, anche voi ragazzi, anche tutti, grazie Italia e speriamo ci vediamo l'altro anno. Grazie a tutti gli organizzatori, sponsor, tutti.
Thank you to all of us, and now it's time for the men's final.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze.
Signori, iniziate a prendere posto, tra pochi minuti lo spettacolo della finale mondiale del beach tennis.
Tennis World Championship 2023. Presentiamo i protagonisti in campo, i gladiatori pronti ad entrare nell'arena. Dalla Francia, il principe delle sabbie, gravità zero, Nico Gianotti. Al suo fianco, quando scende sul campo è rock. Signore e signori, a voi Matrix Mattia Spoto. E ora è il momento dell'ingresso dei campioni del mondo in carica. È il numero 1 assoluto della classifica ITF, dalla Spagna, The Black Mamba delle Canarie, Anthony Ramos! Al suo fianco, il pentacampione mondiale, l'Albatros di Cesena, do il benvenuto nell'arena a Michele Miki Cappelletti!
La fortuna viene a me. Qua, la fortuna viene qua.
La fortuna non va lì.
Allora, ragioniere, che fa? Batti? Ma mi deve tu? No, dicevo, batti lei? Ah, congiuntivo? Sì, aspetti.
Verrà ora osservato un minuto di silenzio per il dramma che ha colpito in questi giorni l'Emilia Romagna. 1 minute of silence, please. Grazie.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Quarna, the voice of beach tennis, welcoming you here to Championship Sunday at the 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Championships. We are just moments away from the men's final, the last match of this championship. It's been a challenging week, to say the least. Lots of devastating flooding happening up in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. They just had a moment of silence here on center court. A lot of the players have been affected. If the players directly weren't affected, then their families were. And it's just been a challenging week for all Italians. And here at the tournament itself, it was a lot of bad weather. In fact, we were supposed to wrap this tournament up yesterday on Saturday, but because of the weather delays, we've had to push to another day. But here we are. It's Sunday. The sun is out. And things are looking good. Conditions are nice. And we've got the final match of the tournament coming up here momentarily. It's the men's championship, a rematch of last year's final. That's right. Michele Cappelletti and Antony Ramos Vieira, the number 1 seeded players in the world. They're taking on the number 3 tournament seeds of Nicola Gianotti and Matty Spoto. Last year, Cappelletti, Ramos Vieira were victorious. Can Matty Spoto and Nicola Gianotti come out on top this year? I made a call earlier in the tournament. I thought that this would be their year. I thought that, the way they've been playing, they've come so close. They've been in a number of finals, but just haven't quite been able to reach that top spot. I just thought, you know what? This is the time. This is the moment. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira playing so well right now in this tournament. They were a little bit off last week in the Canary Islands, but it seems like they have got it back here in Cesenatico.
Ma io la voglio riscaldare questa cornice.
So this will be a best 2 out of 3 set match. Third set super tiebreak if we get there. This is a familiar duo. These teams know each other very well. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, Gianotti and Spoto. Nicola Gianotti, the Frenchman, age 25. Currently ranked number 5 in the world. He's reached as high as number 3. Made that back in May of 2022. He got the number 3 spot. His partner, 23-year-old Matty Spoto, the Italian. Currently ranked number 6 in the world. He is a former number 1 player. In May of 2022, Matty Spoto did take the top spot. He reached that number 1 world ranking. They have 2 wins together as a team here in 2023 so far. There was a BT 400 level tournament and then a BT 200 level. They've come very close. Finalists at the Sand Series Gran Canaria Classic last weekend in the Canary Islands. They looked like they had that one in the bag. Up 7-love in a third set super tiebreak. And then Doriano Beccaccioli and Tommaso Giovannini made a miraculous comeback in the third set. All the way back, taking the victory. Let's see if Matty Spoto and Gianotti can erase that and see if they can maybe use that as fuel. Try to take the victory here on center court. This is the World Championships. Again, rematch from last year's final. Can they get revenge on Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira? We shall see. Or will the tournament number 1 seeds repeat? Back-to-back World Championships. We're just a few moments away from the action. Players are still warming up here on center court. And we will be getting underway. I want to welcome all of you who are tuning in from around the world.
Riscaldiamo i motori.
Un minuto.
Un rettangolo di sabbia, 2 pali, una rete. Signori, vi presento lo sport più bello del mondo. La location, benvenuti a Cesenatico, tra le più belle d'Italia. La cornice, signori, fatevi un applauso perché siete voi. Erano 64 gladiatori e sono rimasti 4, ma solo 2 conquisteranno il titolo mondiale. Ve li presento. Partiamo dall'italiano. Signori, ho l'onore di presentarvi The Rock Mattia Spoto. Al suo fianco, from Francia, gravità zero, Nicolas Gianotte.
The French-Italian team, Nicola Gianotti, age 25, and his partner, Matty Spoto from Italy, age 23. Number 3 seeded team here in the tournament. On to me, Ramos Vieira, the pride of Spain. 29 years old, current ranked number 1 in the world with his partner. Cappelletti, Michele Cappelletti, the Italian. Defending world champions. Will it be 2 in a row? This is a rematch of last year's final. Much different atmosphere this year. A lot going on. But we are just glad to be playing here in Italy. Cesenatico, after a trying week for tournament organizers, players, their families, and everybody who's been impacted by the devastating floods up in the Emilia-Romagna area. We are here underway. Cappelletti going to be serving it up. Will it be 2 in a row for them, or will Matty Spoto and Nicola Gianotti finally get there? Here we go. First point of this World Championship final. We are underway. Spoto taking it up high. Ramos Vieira locking in, and a beautiful overhead smash to start this first set. 15 love. This dynamic team of Capoletti and Ramos Vieira, they have been on a tear in this tournament so far. Forehand side return by Giannotti. It sneaks inside. 15 all. Just a little while ago, we saw the women's champions crowned. Patricia Diaz, Rafaela Miller. Who will it be on the men's side? As the serve of Capoletti's up, and the backhand return by Spoto. Down in the sand goes Tontami, Ramos Vieira, and Nicola Giannotti on the beautiful angle. 15-30. That'd be making a statement if they could get out to the early break here to start this match. I'm not sure who's going to win, but I just had this feeling. It was the year for Giannotti and Spoto. They've come so close, and I just feel like their number has been drawn. But you know what? They're going to have to slay some giants here in Capoletti and Ramos Vieira. This team, number one in the world for a reason. Super dynamic, defending world champions. Looking much more sharp than they did last week in the Canary Islands. They weren't feeling that great. Look at that. Spoto making a statement right from the start, though, and a beautiful overhead smash. It's 15-40. Double break point here for Giannotti and Spoto. Trying to get the early break and seize the momentum after the first game of this men's championship match. You're watching the ITF Beach Tennis World Champions 2023 live from Cesenatico, Italy. I'm Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis, welcoming all of you who are tuning in from around the world. We are in the final match of this tournament. Capoletti now switches to the other side on the serve. He's going to get a little bit of a different angle here on a double break opportunity here for Giannotti and Spoto. As the serve is that's a big crushing serve there by Capoletti. Saves back a point. It's now 30-40. And a service ace. He brought it when he needed it. High pressure serve there from Kelly Capoletti from 15-40 to now 40 all. It's a golden point to start this first game of this championship match. At 40 all, next point wins the game. It's either going to be a service hold or a break. Who's going to take that early momentum and seize that first game? Players will change sides after this game. Good to see the sun out here for the first time this week in Cesenatico. But Kelly Capoletti, number one seeded player with his partner Antoni Ramos Vieira, defending world champions here, serving it up, trying to take that early 1-love lead. Let's see what happens. As the serve is up, forehand return good by Giannotti, and dug out there by Giannotti once again, but it's an easy put down for Antoni Ramos Vieira. Right place, right time, and he slams it home. They take the 1-game-to-love lead, held off the break, and early momentum now tips over to the defending champs. Capoletti, Ramos Vieira lead 1-game-to-love.
Batte 0, risponde 1. È il turno di Nicolas Giannotti.
Second game underway now here on center court as Giannotti with a big serve to start things off. 15-love.
15-0.
As the serve is up, our return by Antimi Ramos Vieira. Ball is coming at you so quick. The return just short. 30-love now. Second game of this first set. We are early in this men's championship match. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira trying to defend their title here at the World Championships. Giannotti and Spoto looking for their first. Crossing over is Cappelletti. Cappelletti, a little touch play around the net, down in the sand. Oh, a little miscommunication there. I think Giannotti thought Spoto was going to make an effort on it, but he didn't, and Giannotti couldn't get there in time. Both players down on their knees, expecting the overhead smash. Cappelletti wisely went with the change-up with the shallow dropper. As the serve is up, Cappelletti in the forehand side return. Now a little dish over to Spoto, but that's going to fall short into the net. So it's now 40-15, opportunity for Giannotti and Spoto to hold serve and tie this first set up in 1 game all. And there we go. They hold serve. We are on serve here in this first set. Men's championship action. It's 1 game all. Serve will switch over now to Antimi Ramos Vieira, the Spaniard. He's 29 years old. So they're going to talk it over. Third game underway here in this men's championship match. We are early in the first set. Antimi Ramos Vieira, the serving it up. Serve is up. Backhand side return there by Spoto. Giannotti back to Ramos Vieira. Antimi now, little chopper down the middle, and that's a nice shot as Giannotti pops it into the net. It's now 15-love. As the serve is up, back inside return there by Spoto. Giannotti on the off angle. Cappelletti's there to get to it, and Giannotti putting it down with force. Cappelletti gets to it, pops it up high, trying to go back to the baseline, but Giannotti with that long reach is able to get up there and put that one down strong. Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira pretty much talk it over. Each point, they set up their strategy, what they want to do, drawing up the play before the serve is ever hit. Let's see what they do here as the serve is over on the angle side to Spoto. But long. Spoto wisely lets that one go. Folks, when you're watching at home, it is hard to really appreciate the speed and spin that's being put on these balls. These players, the best players in the world at beach tennis, able to really manipulate the direction with the spin. Uh-oh. I think there was some confusion about the call. think Capoletti and Ramos thought it was good, but it was clearly called out by Gianotti and Spoto. The scoreboard had said it was point to Capoletti and Ramos Vieira, but that was overturned. So it is point to Gianotti and Spoto, as it should be there. Ramos Vieira serving up at 15:30. In there on the forehand side, return sails wide. 30 all now. Serve is up at the backhand side. Return there by Spoto. Spoto locking in. Lets that one go, but it lands in. Nice lob there by Antimi Ramos Vieira. That gives them game point at 40-30. Trying to stay on serve here early in this first set. Serve up. Down the line on a beautiful backhand punch by Gianotti. That takes us to 40 all and is what we call a golden point here in the beach tennis announcing world. It's not an official term, but it is one that has caught on and is really getting, it's kind of the unofficial official term in the world of beach tennis announcing. So we call it a golden point. Next point wins the game. Unlike tennis, there is no advantage system. Advantage scoring, so next point wins. No ad serve, if you will. So it's either going to be a service hold or a break. Let's see what happens here as Antimi serves it up. Serve is up, forehand return is going to sail long, and it's a service hold. Ramos Vieira brings it when he needs it, and they hold serve. It's 2-1. Capoletti, Ramos Vieira leading men's championship action. The 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Championships live here from Cesenatico, Italy.
Ci aspettavamo un match molto equilibrato, così è. 2 killer point in 3 game, entrambi conquistati al servizio da Michele ed Antimi. Servizi padroni per ora, si gira 2-1.
Il direttore di gara dice che è già passato un giro del suo Rolex Submarine. Si torna in campo, accogliamo gli atleti con un applauso, grazie.
Back in action here on center court. Matty Spoto going to be serving it up at 1-2. We are on serve here in the first set early. As the serve is up, backhand return there by Antimi Ramos Vieira. Down in the sand goes Spoto, and it's a point. Capoletti and Ramos Vieira. Love 15. Serves up at the backhand side dish there by Ramos Vieira. There's Capoletti now locking in from the baseline, taking it up high, challenging Spoto. Spoto there to answer from his knees. Ramos Vieira pops one into the net. 15 all.
Allontana Cappelletti e chiude. 15 pari.
Serve up, answer back in there by Capoletti, but Giannotti is there to answer down the middle. Nice shot there by Giannotti. 30-15. Serve up, back inside dish there by Capoletti. Capoletti taking it up high, and that's going to sail long. So Giannotti and Spoto at 40-15 now have game point, trying to hold serve and tie this first set up at 2 games apiece. We are early in the first set of the men's championship, live on a championship Sunday here. This tournament was delayed a day. It was supposed to be wrapped up yesterday on Saturday, but because of the weather delays, things have gotten pushed to Sunday. But it's a nice day out here today. Sun is out, much more pleasant than it's been for the rest of the week, and very fitting for a championship. As Matty Spoto tries to serve this one out, but he's gonna have to wait off the brilliant return there by Antony Ramos Vieira.
Sventaglia Cappelletti. Siamo sul 40 pari killer partita.
Beautiful flip at the net there by Cappelletti gives us another 40-all golden point. Will it be a service hold and tied at 2 apiece, or will Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira be able to get the break and create a 2-game cushion? And off the service error, that's exactly what happens. Cappelletti, Ramos Vieira go up by 2 games. They lead 3-1 here early, first set.
A servizio Michele Cappelletti a confermare il break strappato in precedenza.
So serve back over to Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, the tournament #1 seeds, trying to repeat. Defending world champions here. They want 2 in a row. This is Cappelletti serving up, leading 3-1 here, first set. As the serve is up, backhand dish there by Spoto, and Spoto with the attack.
Fermato dalla rete dopo un'ottima risposta Mattia Spoto, 15-0.
Just a bit short. So point to the server is 15-love. Serve up, forehand return there is good by Spoto, but Antony Ramos Vieira in the perfect position, able to smash that one home. You'll notice here on the men's side, the points, especially early, they're a lot quicker. More exchanges you see on the women's side. Although the men, they do have the finesse and the touch, but right now you see they also have that raw power and a lot of quick hits right now. You'll see a lot of the 1-2 punch. That's kind of the perfect tactical. That's exactly what you saw right there. The old 1-2 punch. Server down the middle, forces the high return, and then his partner is right there covering the middle for the easy put down. When you're facing such a fast serve, it's not only is it traveling fast, it's spinning tremendously. It's got top spin, so it's dipping from top to bottom. It's also moving for a right-handed server, usually right to left. And so you don't have a lot of options as a returner to, it's a lot of the return is just reactive at this level because the serves are so strong. So really hard to direct the ball where you want it to go. Sometimes you're just trying to get it back in play. And that was just a perfect service game there by Michele Cappelletti. They are in firm control here in the first set, leading 4-1 as the players will change sides.
International Tennis Federation. Davide, è arrivato il break.
Grande equilibrio in questo avvio di partita, il killer point conquistato con il break ha dato fiducia e inerzia a Cappelletti e Ramos, che hanno disputato un game al servizio solidissimo e l'hanno conquistato a 0.
Ma la partita è ancora lunga. Ok signori, abbiamo la Kiss Game. È facile, vi dovete dare soltanto un bacio e vi leviamo l'inquadratura. La prossima volta fatevi trovare preparati. Si torna in campo. Non ho sentito l'applauso del pubblico di Cesenatico. Per il bacio di prima intendevo. Giannotti 1-4.
Nicola Giannotti serving it up. Start the 6th game of this first set. Giannotti stretching. Cappelletti's there to answer now. Throwing it up into the sun. Challenging onto me. Try to deal with that sun overhead. Just after 4:30 p.m. local time here in Cesenatico, Italy. You are watching a battle between the number 1 and number 3 seeds. Cappelletti, Ramos Vieira versus Giannotti and Spoto, a rematch of last year's final, where Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira were victorious.
30-0.
Giannotti, nice serve down the middle, charges in, and that's called the chip and charge. You basically big serve setup. Server rushes in off the forced high return, and that's just an easy crush to put that one home. Giannotti, Spoto looking good in this game. 40 love, but they are in a hole here early in the first set. A crucial service hold for them right here, and they've got 4 points to do it. 40 love. Don't want to surrender any more real estate to the number 1 seeds. And there we go. Service ace there by Giannotti. So they pull within 2 games now. It's a 4-2 lead for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira. Ontemi serving it up to start this 7th game of the first set. Down in the sand goes Cappelletti. Can't get to it in time. Love 15. Ontemi serves it up on a beautiful serve on angle. Forehand return attempt by Spoto sails long. 15 all. Serve is up, forehand return there by Spoto. Spoto getting stretched backwards, able to keep it back up high, but Cappelletti's there from his knees. Giannotti tries to save it, but that's going to sail long. 30-15. Service up. Answer back by Giannotti. Spoto now taking it high, but Capoletti's there. Capoletti just relentless. Continuing to smash down that high ball. Giannotti able to keep it in. There's Spoto trying to take it high, just not high enough. That was right in the strike zone of Michele Capoletti. Easy put down for him, and that gives them a 40-15 game point opportunity here, trying to extend that lead to 5-2. Serve up. Down the line this time. Giannotti's able to answer. Switching back, but that's going to sail long. Capoletti and Ramos in control here. 5-2 as they lead in this first set. They are 1 game away from capturing the first.
Allora preghiamo il gentile pubblico di non muoversi, o meglio, di rimanere seduti durante le fasi di gioco. Grazie.
So if you wondered if Capoletti and Ramos Vieira were going to repeat as world champions, they're off to a great start. We know that momentum can shift at any moment, especially between sets. There's something about it, unexplained phenomenon about the way that momentum can change during the set changeover. Right now, Capoletti and Ramos Vieira trying to close out that first set. They are in full control here.
Fatemi sentire le mani, grazie Cesenatico. Per riprendere al punteggio di 2-5 a servizio Mattia Spoto per rimanere nel set.
First serve of this 8th game into the net for Matty Spoto. Love 15. Both teams had I don't want to say an easy ride into the finals, but they definitely took care of business. Straight set victories for both of these teams all the way up to this point. Capoletti locking into it. Now crossing over is onto me. A little bit out of position there for Capoletti and Ramos, and Giannotti able to smash it home. Oh, that was Spoto, rather. Sorry. So Spoto knocking it down, 15 all. As the serve is up, back return goes high. That's going to be an easy put away. Oh! Ramos Vieira caught a little bit on the face, it looked like, as he just tried the desperation block at the net. He knows this is going to be a smash. He just holds his paddle up. Thought he almost had it. Spoto serves up, another big one down the middle. So they're doing what he needs to do here. 40-15 game point for Giannotti and Spoto. Their backs are against the wall here in this first set. Nowhere to go but forward. And they're down, but they're going to try to chip away at this lead 1 game at a time. See if they can close this one out here. And they do. Giannotti with the quick reflex. So they pull within 2 games here. It's 5-3. Capoletti and Ramos Vieira still in control. As serve will go over to their side, they're going to serve out and see if they can close out the first set here. "31-year-old Michele Capoletti. He's been playing since a young age, been a dominant player for the better part of the last decade. Came up under the tutelage of Italian beach tennis legends like Alex Mingosi and Matteo Marigella, Alessandro Calbucci, Niccolo Gambi. And here he is, a dominant force now in the world of beach tennis. Legend in his own right, legend still in the making. It's Matty Spoto taking care of business on that one. At this elite level of beach tennis, all the players have the skills. It's so much about anticipation of where the ball is going to go and placement. You'll notice a lot of these players, they're moving into position before their opponents even hit the ball. They know where the ball is going to go, and that really is the difference. I mean, this is a fast game. There's not a lot of time to sit there and contemplate where you're going to go. You just have to kind of feel it and be in the right place at the right time. Big serve there by Cappelletti as Gianotti's return sails long. Takes us to 15 all. Cappelletti just confirming the plan. Has the service up. Nice hands. Look at this. Oh! So they went for the 1-2 punch combination there, but Spoto had a different idea. Keeping the ball back in play. Cappelletti steps in for the put away, but just mishandles it and sends it long. 15-30. Going up high, challenging onto me, able to keep a paddle on it, switching over is Gianotti. Gianotti now, and there is Cappelletti. Big, tall, with long reach. We talked about anticipation, folks. He knew where that ball was headed. Got himself into position for the easy put down.
Siamo sul 30 pari.
Service up. Oh, look at that return! Matty Spoto. As Antemi was trying to poach the middle, Matty Spoto redirected down the corner. Beautiful return, and that gives them a break opportunity at 30-40. Trying to stay alive here in the first set. Their backs are against the wall, but like we say, what does a rabid raccoon do when it's backed into the corner? It just claws its way forward. There's nowhere to go. You don't want to deal with a rabid raccoon. So let's see if Gianotti and Spoto can get the break here and pull within one. Kind of sees the momentum back in this first set. Nope, not going to happen off the big serve of Cappelletti. So the veteran Cappelletti knows the situation, knows when he needs to ratchet it up a few notches on the serve. He does it there. Remember, in beach tennis, you get one serve and one serve only. So when you're gonna go big, you're taking a risk. You got to know the risk reward. Takes us to a golden point, ladies and gentlemen. Is break point for Gianotti Spoto. It's also game point and set point for Cappelletti and Ramos. Will they take the one set lead here on this serve? We shall see as Cappelletti serves it up. Serve is in. Gianotti's there. Cappelletti taking it up high. It's out. And Gianotti and Spoto stay alive in the first set. They have gotten the break, and they have pulled within one. Oh, it's gotten good here in the first. Cappelletti Ramos still hold the lead at 5-4.
4 killer points su 9 games, gioca punto su punto. Bravi in ricezione Gianotti Spoto a recuperare il break di svantaggio e ora si gioca fino alla fine questo primo parziale.
C'è un cambio palline, dettaglio alquanto importante. Si torna in campo, il momento è quello caldo, quello che piace a noi. Facciamo sentire un bel applauso, grazie. Si riprende la punteggio di 4-5 al servizio Mosser Giannotti.
So for a moment, it looked like a runaway by Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, but Giannotti and Spoto have different plans. They have pulled within one game here, and they will be serving to try to tie this first set up at 5 games all. As the serve is up and in, Cappelletti in the backhand side dish. There's Ramos Vieira. Friendly bounce off the net for Giannotti, and it's 15-love. Serve up, and that is out. He went big down the line to Giannotti, and he's taking a look at it. Called wide by Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira. So we are tied up in this 10th game of the first set at 15-all. Giannotti goes back down the line. He says, not 2 times in a row. I'm going to get it this time. Nice play there. Antimi Ramos Vieira probably not anticipating he was going to go back to the same spot. 2 serves in a row. 30-15 off the big serve of Giannotti. Nicolas Giannotti, the 25-year-old Frenchman, currently ranked number 5 in the world, former number 3. Got as high as number 3 in May of 2022. And another big serve. Giannotti is putting on a service clinic right now off the paddle of Cappelletti. They have game point at 40-15. Chance to tie this first set at 5 games all. They were down 2-5. All of a sudden, this could be a tied set. 40-15. Big serve, and he does it again off the serve. Giannotti, on an excellent service hold, has tied the first set up, ladies and gentlemen, at 5 games apiece. Momentum over to the number 3 seeds. Giannotti and Spoto have made this a whole new game right here. We are tied at 5-all in the first set.
Servizio che rimane sulla rete, 0-15.
Service error there by Antimi, and that takes us to love 15. The momentum. It was all Cappelletti and Ramos early in the set. They built a 5-2 lead, but Giannotti and Spoto have taken back the momentum, tied the match at 5-all, and they actually lead in this game, love 15. As the serve is up, Antimi coming in, taking the ball high. That's going to sail long. Love 30. And think about that. Could it be 4 games in a row? If Giannotti and Spoto can get the break here, what a story. What a change in the first set momentum. So Cappelletti, Ramos Vieira are going to talk it over. If there's ever a team that's not going to get phased, it's going to be these guys. Look at especially Cappelletti, the stoic Cappelletti. He doesn't really wear his emotions on his sleeve. Never quite know what he's thinking. Never gets too high or too low, and that is just things going the way of Spoto and Gianotti right now off a beautiful angled return. That is triple break point to take a 6-5 lead here. They have the opportunity. So for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, they're going to have to find some mojo here in this game. They don't want to go down a hole with serve going back over to their opponents to close it out. Serve is up, and that's a service error by Antony Ramos Vieira. So that is a break. 4 games in a row. Gianotti and Spoto have taken the lead here in the first set. How things have changed over the last 15 minutes. Down 2-5. And they have come back to take the lead 6-5 in the first set. So for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, now their backs are against the wall. They are in the corner, and they can do nothing but move forward. So let's see how they respond as the players change sides. It's a 6-5 lead. Gianotti Spoto in command.
Tempo, si torna in campo. Non sento le mani del pubblico di Cesenatico, grazie. Al servizio sul 6-5, Mattia Spoto serve per archiviare il primo set.
Matty Spoto serving it up, trying to serve out this set. 15 love.
15-0.
Cappelletti taking it high. Spoto's there. Stretching is Gianotti. Gianotti down the middle now. Spoto answering. Spoto a little angle to the center. Cappelletti's there. Yes, nice play by Cappelletti. Little touch dropper on the angle, forcing the stretch from Spoto. Spoto pops it into the net. 15 all. Serves up, backhand return by Antony. There's Nico. Nico putting it down, 30-15. Being in the right place at the right time. As we see here on the replay, backhand side return. Nico there able to get to it. And he puts it down with a nice wrist flip. Nicola Gianotti, the Frenchman. And Matty Spoto, the Italian. Against an Italian-Spanish duo, Cappelletti, Ramos Vieira. Look at this point here. Getting a paddle on it. That's an easy put down for Gianotti and Spoto. Matty Spoto. So they were down 2-5. They came back. They tied it at 5-all. They got a crucial service hold, or a service break rather, and now at 40-15, they have a chance to take the first set in the final of the World Championship. Matty Spoto has a couple opportunities here, serving it up. Serve up on the forehand side return. Yes, and Matty Spoto gives his team the first set, an amazing comeback. Five games in a row, Spoto and Gianotti make a run, and they came back from a big hole and take the first set. 7-5 here on center court men's championship action, the 2023 Beach Tennis World Championships from Cesenatico, Italy. And so now for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, they're going to have to talk this one over. They're in a hole. The momentum is clearly with their opponents. What are they going to do to respond in the second? Wow, we got a good one here, folks. Live action. Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis, bringing you here from Cesenatico, the 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Championships. You're watching the final match of the tournament, men's final, where the number 3 seeds Nicola Gianotti and Matti Spoto have come from behind and taken the first set. Second set coming up here in just a moment.
Tutti quanti insieme, grazie, fatemi sentire! Si torna in campo. Ok, con la voce siete...
So here we go, just about to start the second set. I'm Alex Gordon, the voice of beach tennis, welcoming all of you who are tuning in from around the world. The 2023 ITF Beach Tennis World Championships, the final match. You are watching the men's final live here from Cesenatico, Italy, where Nicola Gianotti and Matti Spoto, the number 3 seeded team, have come from behind to take the first set, 7-5. This is the Italian, Michele Cappelletti, serving up to start the second set. So let's see how they respond here in set number 2, where they clearly lost the momentum, dropped the first set. But you know what? This game is funny. It's usually the tale of 2 sets, and things can change in the middle of that, in the set changeover. So let's see what happens here. Service hold would be good start here for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira. Cappelletti lets that one go. Looks like he took a swipe on it, but didn't make contact. 15 love. Serve up. Cappelletti coming in for the put away. Spoto there gets a paddle on it, but that one sails long. So 2 points here for Cappelletti and Ramos. Service up with a big service ace on the angle. Cappelletti doing what he needs to do, getting his team in position for the service hold. They lead 40 love here in this first game of the second set. Dropped a set in a very dramatic way with that huge comeback by Gianotti and Spoto in the first. So they're going to try to hold serve here, seize the early momentum, stop the bleeding a little bit here. They can hold serve. Serve is up. Gianotti. Oh, that's a just wicked return there by Nico Gianotti. Serves up for a return there by Spoto. Spoto now a little chop dropper down over to Ontemi. Crossing over is Nico into the net. So service hold there for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to get that early hold. Don't want to drop a early break on your opponents when their opponents have ran 6 games in a row. So Cappelletti and Ramos, new set, new life. They do what they needed to do to come out and make a statement early in this first set with the service hold. Now, let's see if Gianotti and Spoto can do the same. Hold serve and tie this second set up in 1 game apiece.
Batte 0, risponde 1. A servizio Mossar, Gianotti.
Service up, backhand side return there by Ramos Vieira. Nice point there by Gianotti and Spoto, 15 love. So much about position here, folks. You want to learn how to play beach tennis? Watch these gentlemen here, the best players in the world, showing us how it's done. You hit that serve. You saw Gianotti got in quick. A lot of times amateurs tend to take a little bit too much time on the baseline after they serve. Part of the name of the game is to get in early and force pressure up closer to the net. Big serve there by Gianotti. 30 love. And a service ace. Nico Gianotti with a big serve right down the middle, splits the uprights. Not much that Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira could do there. It's now 40 love. 4 game points here for Gianotti and Spoto, trying to tie the second set up at 1 game apiece. Keep us on serve. Service up, answered back by Ramos Vieira, and Gianotti is just on fire right now. Great anticipation, perfect positioning, and the easy put away. We are tied at 1 game all here in the second set. Serves up, backhand return there by Gianotti. Nico going in for the kill. Oh my goodness. Nico's on fire. Nico is on fire. As you see the high lob attempt there, but Gianotti just putting it down. And I'll tell you, we've seen him stumble in those shots at times. Last week in Gran Canaria, he was having a little bit of trouble at times on that overhead put away, but he has been nearly perfect, like batting 1,000 almost on that shot so far in this match. And for Ramos Vieira and Cappelletti, they're going to have to keep that in mind, maybe change up the strategy, not go high to Gianotti when he's feeling it. Love 30. Maybe switch up to a lower game, kind of little touch play around the net, try to force him in and beat him on the angles, but he has just been smashing home those overheads. That serve sails long. Love 40, so break opportunity here for Gianotti and Spoto. This would be great for them to get the early break. Go up 2 games to love with the serve, switching back to their side. Already leading 1 set to love on a dramatic comeback in that first set. Down 2-5, came all the way back to win 7-5. And that lands in. Everything going the way of Gianotti and Spoto right now. They get the early break and take the 2 games to 1 lead here in the men's championship match. 2023 ITF World Championships of Beach Tennis.
Pescando ogni angolo del campo. Vediamo come reagiranno. E questi in serie numero 1.
Ok, ripartiamo, o meglio no, ripartiamo con il ringraziamento degli sponsor SX-Way, Regione Emilia Romagna, Comune di Cesenatico, Federazione Italiana Tennis e Paddle, International Tennis Federation. Ringraziamo la Caponigri Event. Ringraziamo l'Intelligent Sound, ringraziamo la Gold Club Photo, ringraziamo questo meraviglioso pubblico, fatemi sentire un applauso, grazie! Fate due, risponde uno al servizio Mattia Spoto per confermare il break strappato in precedenza.
Back in action here on center court, second set, and this is Matty Spoto serving it up, and a 1-2 punch there. They are on fire, the number 3 seeds. I was saying earlier in the tournament, I really thought this was their year. We've got a lot of beach tennis to play, but I'll tell you what, if this holds right now, Giannotti and Spoto could capture this world championship. And I've always, I've been saying, I think it's their time, and they are just cannot do any wrong right now. Giannotti and Spoto looking so strong. Capoletti and Ramos Vieira have their work cut out for them. It's still early, though, in the second, so they can make a run. You're talking about the number 1 team in the world right now. If anybody can do it, they can. Spoto serves up, dig out. Oh, that's a beautiful return by Ramos Vieira. Backhand side dish sends Giannotti over to the line, and he just mishandles that shot, so it's now 30-15. As the serve is up, that's going to sail long. Antimi lets that one go. 30 all. As the serve is up on 2 service errors. 2 service errors in a row, and that gives Ramos, Vieira, and Capoletti a break opportunity here, and this is a much-needed break. See if they can capitalize here, tie the second set up at 2 games all. They don't want to give a cushion away to a team that's so hot, and there we go. Ramos, Vieira into the net, so they couldn't capitalize on the break opportunity. They still have one here, though, at 40 all. It's a golden point. Somebody's going to win the game on this point right here. Will it be a service hold or will it be a service break? It's going to be the difference between a 3-1 lead or a 2-2 tie here in the second. As the serve is up, Antimi keeps it back in play, going high, stretching over is Spoto, and Ramos Vieira kicks that one wide. It's a service hold for Giannotti and Spoto. They lead 3-1 here in the second set, already leading 1 set to love. Serve is up, backhand return there by Giannotti. There's Capoletti keeping the ball back in play. Spoto there to answer, over to Ramos. Oh, and Capoletti just kind of got frozen back there at the baseline. As we see on the replay, Capoletti, the windmill, and just kind of hangs there at the baseline, doesn't move back in. Of course, I'm not sure he would have been able to get there anyway. That was just a great heads-up play there by Matty Spoto on the angle. Love 15. Service up, dug out there by Spoto, and there's Antimi popping it down, doing what he does best. Don't count these guys out. This is a very dangerous team. They are the number 1 seeds in the world for a reason. Number 1 ranked players. When you have them down, you really need to step on their neck, because if you give them any room to come back, this team can do it. And you got to know that that's on the mind of Giannotti and Spoto. Spoto taking it down. Capoletti there to answer. From the middle, Ramos is there. Now getting pushed to the center is Nico. Nico going in for the kill. Saved back by Antimi. Antimi now. He goes for the smash put away, and I think that was out. It was so fast, it was hard to see. Let's watch here on the replay. Yeah, that one was out. Well, if we get to it here, there's a beautiful overhead. And here you see the overhead smash put away by Ramos Vieira, but it goes wide. So 15-30. Gianotti and Spoto already with a 2-game cushion here in the second set, leading 1-0. Cappelletti now on the other side of the court, serving at 15-30. As the serve is up, forehand return is going to sail wide. That's a nice serve there by Cappelletti. Ties us up at 30-all.
Fatemi sentire un applauso per Mr. Cappelletti. Non tiene Gianotti 40-30.
For Matty Spoto, this is 3 years in a row he's been to the final. In 2021, he made it as the finalist here. Of course, 2022 here with his partner, Gianotti. And here, in position to try and win the first time at the World Championships. So important service hold there for Cappelletti. As the players change sides, it's a 3-2 lead here in the second for Gianotti and Spoto, leading 1-0.
Immediatamente sul centrale. Si torna in campo, le mani di Cesenatico, grazie. Siamo sul 3-2. Al servizio, Nicolas Gianotti.
Back in action on center court, leading 3-2. Gianotti serving it up. 3 games away from being crowned the world champions, but they've got their opponents pursuing here in the second, keeping it close. And that's a nice put away by Michele Cappelletti. Low 15. Like I was saying earlier, for the Italian Matty Spoto, this is his 3rd year in a row. He's been in the finals match here at the World Championships in 2021. He was the runner-up with his partner at the time, Doriano Beccaccioli. And then last year, this team of Spoto and Gianotti fell short to Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, 3-6, 6-2, 10-7. That was a 3rd set heartbreaker for them last year. And here in this 2023, who knows? It's anybody's game. Gianotti and Spoto leading 1-0. Have a very slim 1-game lead here in the second. 15-all. Nico Gianotti serving it up. Serves up in the back hit side return there by Capoletti. Capoletti sends one into the chest of Gianotti, and that's going to sail wide. 15-30. Gianotti serves down the middle. 1-2 punch, as you saw the anticipation by Spoto. Perfect position, right place, right time, and he was just waiting for it. Waiting to pounce. Boom, perfect anticipation, and there it is. Big time put away by Matty Spoto. Ties us at 30-all here in this sixth game of the second set. Big time serve there for Nico Gianotti. 40-30, game point opportunity to go up 4-2, and they would only be 2 games away from being crowned the 2023 World Champs. But that's a long way to go. That's a long stroll from where we are right now. This is a tight one here in the second set. So Nico and Matty going to talk it over, see what they want to do here. Will it be another 1-2 punch? Or is he going to go out wide? He does. He goes out wide over to Ramos Vieira. There's Matty. Yes, and he puts it down. Matty Spoto on the overhead smash. Game 4-2. They've taken a 2-game lead here in the second. They are 2 games away from the championship, from being crowned the 2023 World Champs. Oh my goodness. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I've been talking about it. I've been talking about it all week. I thought this was their year. I called it, kind of put it out there that this was going to be Gianotti and Spoto's tournament to win. And so far, it's looking good. But you've got Capoletti and Ramos. That's just such a powerful, fantastic duo experience. They've seen it all. And they're going to just kind of chip away 1 point at a time. Nice one there at 15-all, or 15-love rather. Sneaks it inside the baseline. If they're going to win it, they're going to have to go to 3, but that's no problem for them. They know what that's all about. These guys have been there a million times. They're not going to get too worked up. Oh, look at that dig out there by Capoletti to keep the ball in play. And it pays off. Capoletti on a beautiful defensive dig. Look at that. Keeps the ball in, and it wins his team the point. As the backhand chop lob by Spoto sails wide. 30-love. Serve is in. Backhand angle by Gianotti's there, and Spoto with the big put away. Gets a point for his team, so 30-15 now. Serve up. Dug out there by Gianotti. Spoto, beautiful play by Capoletti. Keep that ball in. Capoletti stretching, and it's a good shot there over the head. Nice one by Gianotti. Sends Capoletti to the baseline. He just couldn't get there. You thought it was over, but Capoletti with those reflexes just able to dig it out. But Gianotti with a heads-up play. And even gets appreciation there from the great one, Kelly Capoletti. So we're tied at 30-all here, 7th game of the second set. Gianotti and Spoto lead 4-2 and leading 1-0 already. Nice angle play there. Gianotti locking in. Oh, my goodness. And this is something he wasn't doing last week. Nico Gianotti on those overhead smashes, especially the deep ones like that. He was in the back part of the court there, and he just brings it home. He's been doing that all day so far. it's losing odds when you lob him today. Sometimes it works. It's a good strategy. But he has just been on fire. And now a break opportunity for Giannotti and Spoto to pull within one game of taking home this World Championship title. From the I formation, serve down the middle. There's Antony. Cappelletti there. He tried to chop short into the net, and that is a break for Giannotti and Spoto. Ladies and gentlemen, they're up a set, and they lead 5-2. Here in the second, Giannotti and Spoto are 1 game away from being crowned the champions for the first time here. The World Championship on the line as players change sides. And now for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, they are definitely backed into a corner. They have no more room to go but forward. Let's see how they respond. Do they come out aggressive? Do they try to play ultra-conservative and try to just kind of claw their way back into this, chip away at the lead slowly? We'll see here momentarily. It looked like all Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira in the first set. They took that 5-2 lead. You thought, okay, the number 1 seeds are going to repeat here. They're doing what they do, but Giannotti and Spoto clawed their way back in, took the lead, and took the first set, 7-5. Now they lead 5-2, and they have the serve. Spoto trying to serve out for the World Championship. Serve is up, backhand side return. Spoto's there to answer. There's Cappelletti for the kill, and he puts it away. Love 15. Serve up, big serve there by Spoto. Ramos gets a paddle on it, but chops it wide. On to me, Ramos Vieira from Spain. I mean, that ball's coming at you with such velocity. That's going to happen sometimes, you know. You can't appreciate the speed or spin on the TV feed here. Another big serve there by Spoto, 30-15, 2 points away. They're so close. They can taste it now. But they can't get too far ahead of themselves. They know who they're playing. This number 1 seeded team in the world. And off another big serve, Matty Spoto. Cappelletti into the net. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 40-15. Game point. Set point. Championship point. With the world title on the line, can Spoto serve it out? Serve is up. Backhand side return. It's all over! It's all over! And they have done it! Nicola Giannotti, Matty Spoto are your 2023 World Champions of Beach Tennis. It was their year. You could feel it. I said it, and I am just, you know, I'm so thrilled for this team. So many times a bridesmaid and never a bride. Well, they're a bride today. You have done it. Giannotti and Spoto are your 2023 World Champions. And they do it in dramatic fashion. Down 2-5 in the first set. Rolled all the way back, won 7-5, and then just took command in the second and didn't look back. Unbelievable play here. 7-5, 6-2. And you have a new world champion, ladies and gentlemen. The Frenchman, Nicola Giannotti. The Italian, Mattia Spoto. They have done it. And for Cappelletti and Ramos Vieira, a fine tournament, a bit short, not what they wanted, not the result they wanted, but you know what? They're always there. And they have nothing to be ashamed of. But today was the day for Spoto and Giannotti. They've come so close this year so many times. And this was the tournament where they did it. They saved it for the best. The most prestigious tournament in the world of beach tennis. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is. your new world champions, Nicolas Giannoti and Mattias Spoto. We'll be going down on court for some on-court interviews, trophy presentations coming up afterwards. What a conclusion to this tournament, the 2023 World Championships of Beach Tennis from Cesenatico, Italy. It was a challenging week for everyone, a challenging week for Italy at large. But the tournament remained. We continued to play, albeit a day late. That's okay. It ends in dramatic fashion. Congratulations once again, Giannoti and Spoto. You have done it. You are our world champions here in 2023.
It was our dream to win here. We lose last year for Matti. He lost 2 times in a row in final, and now finally we win. We did that for our coach because he lost 4 times in a row in final. With every player he lose, but with us he win one for the first time, so it's incredible. I'm very happy for me, very happy for Matti, thanks my partner. He was difficult at the beginning of the first set, but he come back incredible at the beginning of the first set. And I'm very happy for the French, for my country. It's the first time that we have one French guy world champion. It's incredible. Thanks a lot to everybody that support me every time. I know I receive already a lot of messages, but I cannot read and answer everybody. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations. What about you, Mattias Spoto? Can you say something?
I say this. First in the world. First in the world.
That's it.
And so as they go to the Portuguese interview there, just some final thoughts here from Alex Corda, the voice of beach tennis. Thanking you so much for tuning in around the world and for joining us on what was an incredible tournament. A tournament of adversity, weather delays. We delayed the tournament, extended the tournament by a full day. Players having to deal with travel changes, having to deal with the stress of what was happening up in the Emilia-Romagna area with all of the devastating floods. A lot of the players here personally affected by that. And so it was just one of those times, you know, but the tournament persevered. And we had a championship. And it just gave us that moment to kind of break away and just escape the reality of what was happening in the country and, you know, focus on sports, which can be the great distraction. And for these players, they held firm. We saw great stories. On the women's side, we had the Cinderella run of Ariadna Costa-Grau and Elena Francesconi. They fell short in the final, but what a great story for them to make the final. And of course, Patricia Diaz and Rafaela Miller just playing so great right now. Such hot players on fire right now in the well-deserved World Championship for them. That's 2 weekends in a row. They just won the big Sand Series event in Gran Canaria last weekend and now the World Championship. So they are the hottest team on the planet right now on the women's side. And for Maddie Spoto and Nico Gianotti, they have come so close so many times, and you just thought at any moment they were going to break through. And that was my prediction at the beginning of this tournament. And I'm so glad to see them that this was finally their chance, finally their moment where they were able to capitalize. And they did it on the grandest stage of the sport, the World Championships, and earned that World Championship, the first ever for them. For Maddie Spoto, this was his third time in a row going to the finals and his first victory. And for Gianotti, well, it was a repeat from last year. He was here last year, but they fell short. Not this time. They are your 2023 champions. So great drama. It's been one for the record books, one we'll remember for quite a long time. But a final shout out to our world champions, Patricia Diaz and Rafaela Miller and Nicolo Gianotti and Mattia Spoto. You guys did it. Ladies, congratulations. Men, congratulations. Next up on the ITF calendar, I hope to see you for the next Sand Series event. We go to the other side of the world, to Brazil, for the Sand Series Classic in Brasilia. That's coming up June 15th through the 17th. So stick around, folks. You've got the trophy presentation here. For myself, I'm going to sign off now, and I want to thank you again for joining us. On behalf of everyone involved with producing the tournament, the ITF, all of the production crew, all of the folks in the sand, the court rakers, the PA announcers, the DJs, the tournament directors, and everyone who makes these events happen. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Alex Corner, the voice of beach tennis, signing off, and we will see you soon in the sand.
To the ITF Beach Tennis World Championship Trophy Presentation for the Men's Double. È il momento della premiazione del podio del doppio maschile dei campionati mondiali 2023. To present the trophies and medals, please welcome Matteo Gozzoli and Gaia Morara, rispettivamente sindaco e assessore al turismo. Benvenuti. And Alexei Selivanenko, ITF representative and chairman of the ITF Beach Tennis Committee. Now, Alexei, the World Championship are finished. A few words from you.
Hello again, everyone. I would like, first of all, to congratulate the players, winners, runner-ups, everyone who participated this amazing week.
Grazie a tutti, voglio complimentarmi con gli organizzatori, con i giocatori e tutto il pubblico per una settimana veramente entusiasmante.
We all know that it was a very challenging week, difficult and tragic both for the region and for everyone, but I would like, to praise the local authorities, organizers, the team, everyone who survived and who overcome all of the challenges and made this event happen.
So bene che è stata una settimana veramente difficile per tutta la vostra regione, per l'Italia, e non posso che complimentarmi con tutti gli organizzatori e coloro i quali hanno fatto sì che questo evento riuscisse e fosse portato a termine nel miglior modo possibile.
Again, thank you and many words of congratulations and gratitude to the Italian federations, Mona, Paola, all of the team, all of your staff who worked tirelessly, and it was one of the most difficult and challenging events we had on the tour, but I would say that we overcome, and what we saw here, it's really a festival of beach tennis, and we have here on Sunday, sun is shining, fans are on the stands, and I think, we should be proud of you, and we should be proud of your team. Thank you.
Per concludere vorrei ringraziare di cuore il direttore del torneo Paolo Caponigri, Simona Bonadonna e la Federazione Italiana Tennis e Padel per aver fatto sì che questo torneo si completasse nel miglior modo possibile. Il sole splende su di voi e io sono veramente orgoglioso per come avete lavorato assieme al vostro staff. Complimenti. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And also thank you to all of the sponsors, partners, fans, and all of the Italian people. So I think Italy is the birthplace of beach tennis here. This region is the birthplace, and I would like to say that we're really proud to be here, and thank you very much for hosting us. And we're going to see everyone on beach courts, next year and before, and here is where beach tennis is very organic, and I think all of the players love this place.
Non so se è una promessa, però sicuramente ha sottolineato l'importanza di giocare il beach tennis sulla terra e sulla sabbia dove è nato, ed è orgogliosa di aver ospitato qui questi campionati del mondo e ci dà appuntamento ai prossimi eventi, chissà anche l'anno prossimo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and looking forward to see everyone next year.
Ci vediamo l'anno prossimo. Sindaco, due parole per questa settimana molto molto difficile, intensa. È bello vedere che è tornato a splendere il sole su Cesenatico, sulla Emilia Romagna, una bella iniezione di fiducia.
Sì, direi che ci voleva veramente, abbiamo passato e stiamo ancora vivendo dei momenti difficili, anzi difficilissimi, come mai avevamo vissuti in questo territorio forse da sempre. Però devo dire che ce la stiamo mettendo tutta per rialzarci e per essere più forti di prima, quindi ovviamente questa manifestazione rappresenta anche la speranza per tutti noi di ripartire il prima possibile, quindi ne approfitto per ringraziare ovviamente gli organizzatori, la federazione e tutti gli atleti che comunque in questi giorni difficili si sono sfidati sulla nostra sabbia, che è appunto il luogo dove è nato questa disciplina e tutte le discipline legate alla spiaggia, quindi forza Cesenatica e forza Romagna.
Grazie mille al Sindaco, ovviamente ha sottolineato l'importanza della ripartenza, grazie anche a questa giornata di sole. Io direi che è giunto il momento delle premiazioni. Una menzione la merita sicuramente la coppia quarta classificata, fourth place for Ramon Guedez and Carlos Pigon. And now it's time for the bronze medal. In the third place, please welcome Teo Irigaray and Thales Santos. Thales went away, so a big praise for Teo Irigaray. Premia l'assessore allo sport. Teo Irigaray e Thales Santos sono la medaglia di bronzo ai campionati mondiali 2023. Complimenti Teo. E ora il momento di premiare i secondi classificati. Now it's time for the runners-up silver medal. Please welcome to Anthony Ramos e Michele Cappelletti. Anthony Ramos e Michele Cappelletti sono i secondi classificati ai campionati del mondo 2023. È il momento di eleggere i campioni del mondo 2023. Now it's time to elect the ITF Men's World Champions for 2023. I campioni del mondo 2023 sono Nico Gianotti e Mattia Scotto. Spazio alle foto di rito e poi alcune dichiarazioni da parte dei vincitori. Mattia e Nico, complimenti per questo successo, un successo che avete inseguito e che avete conquistato con grande merito. A voi la parola.
Vuoi cominciare tu? Meglio col mio italiano. Grazie mille a tutti per il supporto incredibile di vincere questo torneo, siamo molto felici del mio socio. Una parola per tutta la cosa che si è passato questa settimana in Romagna, era difficile di giocare rosso per tutti gli italiani, era una situazione molto difficile. No, non era il campionato mondiale che abbiamo aspettato tutti, ma vado a ricordare tutta la mia vita di questo momento, anche così, ma grazie a tutti, bravo a mio socio che ha fatto un torneo incredibile insieme, non ho troppo di parole in testa. Grazie mille a tutti.
Siamo arrivati qua da un periodo che non vincevamo quasi mai una finale e non riuscivamo a sfruttare i momenti importanti nelle partite che contavano, e aver vinto questo torneo dopo Gran Canaria è sicuramente un valore aggiunto che ci fa solo bene, siamo super contenti. Era la terza finale di fila al campionato mondiale per me, per Nico la seconda, e avevo perso 10 set a long in entrambe le partite, quindi iniziavo a pensare che non sarebbe mai arrivato questo momento, e invece adesso che è successo non ci voglio credere, devo ancora realizzare del tutto, ma sono sicuramente felicissimo. Ringrazio il mio sponsor, Heroes, che in ogni momento, in ogni bisogno sono sempre presenti, in ogni piccola cosa. Siamo una famiglia, mi hanno sempre trattato come parte integrante della loro famiglia, quindi grazie mille, lo siete anche per me. Ringrazio la mia famiglia che mi segue sempre a quando possono qua in Italia, e io apprezzo tanto questo, mi piace tanto quando ci sono loro, anche per condividere le gioie insieme a loro. Ringrazio la mia amorosa e la sua famiglia, insieme a tutti i miei zii che fanno parte tutti insieme della mia famiglia, che sono venuti qua anche loro a condividere questo momento, mio cugino, tutti insieme. Sì, tutti. E ringrazio tutti perché non so quando ricapiterà. Quindi... grazie a tutti. Stavo dimenticando la cosa più importante, scusa, il mio allenatore, Danny, che segue tutti i tornei.
No, non era allenatore di Matti, è il babbo di Matti. Daniel, il babbo è allenatore a tutti per.
Scusate se mi sono dimenticato, scusa Danny, ma lo ringrazio tutti i weekend per il lavoro che facciamo, stiamo viaggiando il mondo insieme, ci stiamo lavorando, sia dal punto di vista del campo, sia fuori dal campo, non è facile starmi vicino come il mio socio, ho un carattere particolare e quindi grazie mille anche a Danny, soprattutto a Danny che ci sopporta, ci allena e ci ha permesso di arrivare fino a qua. Senza di te sarebbe stato impossibile arrivare primo al mondo e vincere questo campionato del mondo. Grazie.
Concludiamo con un grande applauso per i mondiali di beach tennis e per l'Emilia Romagna. Grazie a tutti.